Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 94. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
I'm Lisa, and I'm you brought me home.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time.
Hi, I'm Bronze. I'm Aloha Forever.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm Ginny Jingston Handshot Reader First on Tumblr.
Does that get longer each time you say it? It seems like it. Okay.
I remembered it this time.
Where's Daniela? Wasn't she just here?
Daniela is supposed to be here, but she was having problems with her internet connection, so I don't know, maybe she'll pop up. Anyway, we will be discussing I'll Be Your Mirror today, and I guess you guys didn't like it. No? Yes? Well, we'll see.
No.
No.
Well, okay.
I don't
here's-
perceive a lot of enthusiasm for this episode.
No.
Yeah.
Our first question is asking for our rating, so we might as well just do that.
Okay, let's hear the first question.
It's from Anonymous. I know you all rate the F in the beginning, and is anyone going beyond a 3? A 3 for the amount of times Killian was on screen. That's all this was worth.
Do you guys want to give it a 3? So low?
Yes, I'd give it a 2 if I
Yes.
could.
Is someone else for a higher rating?
For 2 for me as well.
Are we
would say
doing from
somewhere
1 to
between-
10 or 1 to 5? I'm sorry, because
1
that...
to 10.
Okay.
1 to
I would
10.
say I would definitely say somewhere between a 3 and a 4. Yeah.
Well, if it's 1 to 10, then I might give it a 3.5.
Okay, well, I actually would give it a higher rating because for this being a Swan Queen episode, or anyway an episode with a lot of interaction, at least it didn't make me mad. That's my baseline of good or bad episode. How mad did it make me? And it didn't. Regina was at least reasonable.
Well, okay, first of all, we have to remember that Regina is, divided in half. So, of course, she wouldn't piss you off because this is a off. However, then we had the grossness with Rumple, various kinds of grossness that we'll get into later. And yeah, no.
It didn't matter to me much, the Emma and Regina stuff, because there was very little exposition between them, and it was mostly had to do with the overall storyline, so that really didn't bother me. What bothered me was the fact that it did not move. This episode was the purest filler I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was a 1 hour waste of time that did not move the plot. I was watching that one episode from season 5 where there was no more cast except Zelina and Arthur. Like, I mean, it was like a 1 hour waste. The story didn't move along. Regina didn't seem to really learn anything from it. Or
she didn't learn anything from it because Emma wouldn't let her.
And there were certain aspects of what the Evil Queen was doing, especially to Henry, that I felt like, okay, this bitch is taking things too far. Like, really to an exceptionally dark place. And when you're considering a child, bringing a child into that, I felt it kind of crossed the line. And that just made me take off a whole bunch of points.
But as we keep saying, the Evil Queen is Regina. Regina is the Evil Queen. We have to accept that on some level. Regina really does think that about Henry.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 10.
I would give it a 5 as well. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible, and it wasn't completely boring either. So, yeah, a 5.5 even. I just remember something that made me mad. I really dislike this whole Harry and Violet storyline. Not
Yes.
not because of Violet herself, that's fine. It just Harry shouldn't have a girlfriend at this age before he even has a friend his own age. And I I really hate how they make him talk like, oh, because I'm not good enough for her. It's like, why are you talking like this, child? You're 12. Go back to school. Oh my god.
No, but Bagel taught him all of this stuff.
Probably.
They knew each other for 2 weeks. Couldn't he have taught him to shave? Why did he have to teach him to be creepy?
It really is. It's actually quite typical for kids his age. They're at that, like, teenagers, but they're at the very beginning part of being a teenager, so they're still going through the puberty cycle.
Uh,
So everything to them, no, listen. So the hormones rage. Everything is heightened because they don't quite understand it yet.
yep, I've been
When
there.
you, so when you,
Did you talk like you were 5 years old while you were going through it, Ro?
Mm,
So when you got this, who you think is your first love, everything's heightened, everything's kind of crazy, and you want it to be perfect. And whenever something seems even the littlest bit less than perfect, you're looking at yourself as the, you know.
Okay, wait, no. See, here's the thing. His daddy was a drama queen. His grandfather is a drama queen. It's the Stiltskin. It is the Stiltskin in him that is making him act like this, and I hate it.
What I
Yeah.
wish is that instead of assuming that he was the problem, that he was doing something wrong, or that he wasn't good enough for her, instead of making those assumptions, I wish he would have just sat down with her and talked to her first and say, hey, I feel like you're pushing it, but you can't really expect that from a kid who's only, God, why do they have to make it 13? Jesus.
Drama queen.
It would be
Drama
so much
queen.
No, it would be so much easier if they would just make him 15. 15, this is acceptable. But when you're still saying that he's 13,
Well, that's what Serena's talking about. He's 13 years old who has this love interest, but we've never seen him have friends his own age. Some other, like, person to hang out with. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Grace.
yes.
other than the phone friends that he was texting with in from the New York, the fake
Exactly.
New York life that I guess he doesn't have anymore.
I still
Jesus.
feel like I'm not good enough for her. It's just something a teenager wouldn't say. It just sounds so fake. Because what does it even mean? I mean,
And
they're
Actually,
children.
it is something that a teenager would say, because when you experience that first love, or that little tinge of what you think is first love, if something goes wrong, it's always the end of the world. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Oh my god, she's gonna leave me, blah 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 blah, because
Yeah, but
they're
that's
teenagers.
yeah, if he's 15, but he's not 15, he's 13 in this damn show, and it don't make no sense. It doesn't help that Jared is not that good of an actor to pull off this rotten
yeah,
dialogue.
because he says I'm not good enough for her, but it sounds like I'm about to fall asleep. So the emotion is there. But actually, I
I
agree
know.
with what Lisa is saying, because it's the end of the world and all the things you were saying. That's something that I could say. I could see a teenager saying. It's just the phrase "I'm not good enough for her." It sounds so grown up. It just some. It's just beyond what I feel like. I mean, I could believe, oh, why doesn't she like me? What did I do wrong? And whatever, but not good enough. It's just a concept that just doesn't feel like something a teenager, to me at least,
And
something
It
they
would
would
probably be
feel.
easier if Jared could
and
it would probably be easier if Jerry could carry the scenes better, but unfortunately.
And wait a second. His mom is the savior and a princess. His grandparents are is Snow White, and his other mom is the evil queen. How the fuck does he think he ain't good enough for some knight's daughter? That don't make no sense.
Well,
Yeah, if
let's not,
anything, he should be entitled.
let's not
One thing
forget.
I'll say though, I was really happy that they didn't go the way of, oh, she has to like you, that kind of thing. I was really worried about that.
Oh,
Especially
that's
with the
true.
evil queen being involved, I was really worried that they might do some weird stuff with consent and things. So
Yeah.
for that alone, I should probably increase the rating. Because
That's
I had
that's a low
I
bar.
was afraid that there would be, you know what I mean. So
That's a low bar to hit.
Let's not forget.
Wow.
Let's not forget that he doesn't see Violet like a normal girl. He sees her as like exotic because she was born and raised in Camelot. She said herself she went to balls like every week. So he knows she's been around knights and lords and kings and had all of these frills and all these amazing things. Season 5, when he was trying to get to know her, her father pretty much shat on him in front of her face.
But then he said he was cool. Back and he's like, "Oh, you're cool." And let's not forget, Henry's had some adventures of his own. He's been to Neverland, and he's got the heart of the truest believer and all that other bullshit. So come on.
And there might still be some lingering stuff from the fact that the fact that Emma ripped her heart out of her chest. He might feel some lingering guilt issues over that.
Nah.
That Emma ripped Violet's heart out. You know.
Yes, I remember.
There might be some lingering guilt. There might be some lingering guilt issues over that. You know. And Henry's like Emma. He doesn't see himself as the princeling or her as a princess. He just sees himself as Henry. You know. He doesn't even see himself. He doesn't even consider being the author to be a big deal. So in his mind, he's just a kid. So of course he would. He looks at her. I could see the way that he looks at her. He looks at her like she's his world, like she's everything.
Oh,
You should not be looking at anybody
Honestly.
like that when you're 13.
I know,
Yeah.
but the way that he talks
Oh,
about
he was
her, the
cute.
way that he's on the phone with her all the time. He holds hands with her at school. She kisses him on the cheek. I mean, she's like his everything. So of course he's gonna be worried if she starts to pull away.
Okay, here's my problem then. Is that they're writing this romance that's supposed to be for a 13-year-old like they're 18, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're
I
writing
know,
it like
I
too
know.
old because
It would be so much
they
easier
don't
if they
know
would
how to
just
write
let him.
teenagers.
I know it would be so much easier if they would just let the poor kid age already. Jesus.
Yeah, why not? They already have issues with timelines, so they should have just pretended that Henry is 15.
yeah. Anyway, Henry is really boring. I don't know why we got so incented talking about him.
Well, it's good that we did because we don't have any questions about Henry. So I'm glad we got that out.
Okay, well, we talked about Henry. Does someone have any more provocative opinions about Henry?
Yes.
Tell us.
Well, whatever was going on with Violet, I'm glad it wasn't dragged out because he knew it was really the evil queen. And he was like signaling her, okay, pretend I just said something and we're going to leave and I'm going to save my mom's. That's the Henry I like to see. He was very proactive in this episode. He didn't let his date get in the way because he knew something was going on. I think something wasn't right. So I think he redeemed himself a bit.
You know what was dumb? When he found out that Regina wasn't the real Regina and he was in danger and told Violet, and then he didn't tell his grandfather or grandmother, whoever was awake at the time. He told no one. It was like, why do this alone? Why are you so dumb?
It's called you have a phone. You can text them. The evil queen doesn't even have to see it.
Okay, let's go to another question.
And just in fairness to Jared, he did recently have some nice things to say about Captain Swan in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. It's true.
He did, but that doesn't make him a
That
good
doesn't make
actor.
him a good. Exactly. We don't dislike him. We just dislike his acting.
Yes, Jared the person is fine. I don't like Jared the actor.
It's
And
it's
Henry, it
like
doesn't help that Henry's written like a completely useless character.
it's like with Bagel. I hate him, but Michael is a fine actor. I like Michael the actor. If he decided to take a better role, I will watch it. It was just Bagel. It's nothing personal.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about Robert Carlyle and Rumpel. I mean, he's great in the role, but he's written to be such an asshole.
That's true.
Oh, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay, so a bunch of these are just general negativity that we got like right after the episode aired, so I'm just going to read them and people can listen to themselves vent. The first one is from Anonymous. Why the fuck is the evil queen using lines Hook has said in past episodes? And another Anonymous says, wow guys, I can't believe we're again, what a bunch of bullshit. And then another Anonymous says, congrats to A&E for making everything about Regina / Evil Queen is ruining the fucking show. And then this last one is from Anonymous. The episode was a filler piece of garbage, and that was there to appease fans, to appease the shitty fans that. Anyway. I can't even read this.
Their age made the Anonymous writer incoherent.
Incomprehensible. Okay. Well, then there's basically fuck the evil queen, fuck Rumpel, and where the fuck are the happy times? Why the fuck do the heroes have to struggle, and so on. I'm so mad. I can't. Yes, Anon, we can tell you're very mad.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the same Anonymous or several different ones that were all angry.
They came
I
in
don't know.
at different times, so I'm hoping they're different ones.
We don't know. So I just didn't get so many feelings from this episode. Like I didn't care enough to get mad. I don't know if that's an improvement or the opposite of an improvement, because in previous seasons I cared enough to get really mad, and now I don't get mad. Why? Because I don't care anymore, or because it's not as bad? We just don't know.
I think a big part of the reason why you didn't get mad at this one is because you didn't actually have to see Regina like put Emma down and like to her and have Emma just take it. Like this episode was devoid of that because this was the quote unquote good Regina that was hanging out with her in the room.
Yeah.
We may even go an entire season, or at least an off season, without Regina being terribly shitty to Emma. Maybe. It's possible. Hope is the last to die.
And we actually got someone get in her face and call her out on the stupidity of when the dragon said to her, I told you there was going to be a deep war within your soul. I didn't tell you had to separate it from your body. I was like, boom, mic drop, call the bitch out.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody did.
The only other person that's called her out on this is her sister. Nobody else.
Because Snow and Emma supported that idea.
Uh-huh.
Finally, somebody got in her face about it. Although I was kind of upset over the fact that they managed to escape, but they left the poor guy. I'm like, that's
and they have his heart.
That's really fucked up. You left that poor man sitting in the mirror world. Now he can never escape.
What are they gonna do?
Really
Put his
horrible.
heart through the mirror? Give him his heart back? What's happening?
I think he escaped. They didn't just show. They just didn't show it.
Well, I don't believe it till I see it on the show.
Michelle, do we have questions about the dragon?
No, we do not.
Okay, can I ask, did you guys think that that hint about the dragon having a daughter was about Lily?
God,
It's
I hope
possible.
not.
It's possible.
Maybe.
I hope not for this reason, because it makes the casting of what's her name?
Yeah.
Even
Agnes
more
Bruckner?
problematic than it already is. Yeah, Agnes Brooker. Thank you. It makes her casting even more problematic because they cast a Latina actress as young Lily, and then they cast a white girl as adult Lily. And if her dad is, Chinese, then the whole casting is mucked up, and it would be even more fucked up than it is now. So I hope not.
I can't believe they are still doing this. They have been called out for stuff like this since season 1, and they still do this stuff. It's incredible.
Well, dragon genetics may work completely differently than human genetics. You never
Yeah,
know.
but it's still not right. It's not.
No, it's not right
Usually
at
the
all.
casting department is pretty on point, but there have been times like this where they just kind of they just screw stuff up.
Yeah. And it's not like the adult Lily actress was so amazing that you just had to cast her. They could have found a Latina actress who was just as good, if not better, honestly.
The girl who's playing Maggie Sawyer on Supergirl, I'd just like to point this out. She would have been a good Lily, but whatever.
I don't like her. I mean, I don't like Maggie. Maybe I would like her in another role.
But and that's the thing, that this Lily thing is, this is like the one dropped storyline that literally no one cares about. And this is the one they are potentially teasing with the dragon guy. Like, really?
What if it's Mulan?
Doubtful.
Mulan, I want Mulan back.
Poor Mulan's stuck in Oz.
Yeah, they really need to give her happy ending. That what they did last year with Red and what's her name was fucked up. Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Now she's the third wheel again.
Oh, that poor girl. Now she's stuck somewhere with no way out.
With munchkins.
Maybe she can borrow those ruby slippers and escape.
I will say this much about the episode from the Hook stuff, which is always good. I was actually pleasantly surprised between Zelena and Belle. At first, I was like, "Oh God!" But then
we'll get to that when we get to the Rumpel stuff.
The diner was like, I actually liked it.
We'll talk about Belle and Selena when we get to Rumpel and Belle and whatnot. But I do want to address something that was sort of part of the last question I read, like how the show is so like unremittingly dark now, that they keep talking about. Yeah, there's hope, but things get up and we never get to see the hope. Like, I'm just like, Em and Eddie, are you serious? Like, do you even watch your own show? Like, this is not hopeful. You're telling me Emma's gonna die. You're telling me that Belle is, entrapped by her husband, and he's only worried about the contents of her womb. Snowing is separated by a sleeping curse. This is not hope. You never show us what these people are fighting for, because you never let them breathe, and it's getting fucking tiring. And that's why I think that's a big reason why people are like not watching the show live anymore. They're like, we're gonna let the episodes build up, blast through them, when the season's over or whatever.
Especially when you consider what next week's episode, what that promo was shaping up to look like. I mean, we all had that fear when he and Belle originally got together. We all had that fear that what happened to Mila was going to happen to her. because when Mila disobeyed him, or when Mila decided she wanted to be free of his control, and she wound up being killed for it. And now, poor Belle finally stands on her own 2 feet and tells him to go fuck off. And now this.
Well, do we? Okay, do we want to jump to the Golden Queen / Rumbelle questions? We've only got one of each.
Okay, let me say one thing related to this hope stuff and to Rumble. They should stop telling Rumble fans to have hope. Because Rumble is gross, and having hope for them to get back together is gross. And saying that people should have hope for that is terrible, and people should not do it, and Adam and Hadi should not do it. Even Matt, what's his name from TV Line, is sick of this Rumble shit, because
no, I saw an article on Yahoo right like a couple days after the episode that was written by somebody who used to love Rumbelle. She's like, yeah, I don't want them to get back together ever, and do not tell me that they're going to get back together, because what's going on with them is gross and disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like their own fans don't want them to get together anymore.
Because at some point they're not the Rumble of season 1 anymore. I liked them in season 1. I could see the appeal. Maybe I was even a shipper, I don't know. But at some point, so many things have happened. So much fucked up stuff that Rumble did that you can't keep rooting for them. They're just different people. And Belle is so much better away from him. Just so much better.
Well, here, let me read the Rumbelle question since we're talking about it. I just want to say, if there are any Rumbelle shippers still left out there, to jump ship now. That relationship is so gross and disastrous. I really don't see any way it can be fixed. Rumple is a straight up controlling evil bastard, and that's not going to change.
Oh.
But you know, is there any part of that ain't true?
No.
He put a gauntlet on her wrist to keep. He pretty much low jacked his wife. To keep complete control over her, so she can never leave. If that's not a controlling spouse, if that's not emotional and teetering on the point of physical abuse, I don't know what is.
No, that is physical abuse. Let's be real. He's physically preventing her from going anywhere. That's why I was so glad she would if he was grabbing her by the wrist.
That's why I was so glad during the scene in Granny's when they were talking to Jasmine. And again, Aladdin and Jasmine kind of shelved doing absolutely dick shit.
But why were they in this episode?
The point is, I know that most of us never particularly cared for Lacey because of her attitude, but when that little bits and pieces of it come out of Belle at the right time, because she needs that independence. She needs that strength. She has been so subsumed and given up so much of herself. I'm glad she's finding those parts of Lacey to bring out and give herself strength. Because when they were going, oh, we're not, together, don't care, out of town. Can we talk? I was like, yeah, yes, Belle.
I think it was Zelina who said, don't care.
Well, no, it wasn't just that she wanted to get out of town. Yeah. She wanted to go to the Enchanted Forest. She's like, she could have like driven to like New York or something, but no, she literally wanted to go to the Enchanted Forest. The one place Rumple would most likely not want to follow her.
Also, I would not like to give birth in the Enchanted Forest. I would want an hospital and many drugs, so I don't get it.
I'm just glad that she's asserting independence. She's asserting her personal power. She hasn't been able to do that since she's been on this show, and she deserved to be able to do that. I know in the past we all chastised her character for constantly taking him back and acting stupid, and now she's finally coming into herself.
Well,
That I
see,
remember from the cartoon.
But see, that's the thing. The only thing that's made her finally stand up and do this is the fact that she's got a kid. If it was just her, she would still be trying to fix him. And judging from that, I don't want to get into the script tease, but yeah, that looked pretty gross too.
I think it was a little strange that she wanted to go to the Enchanted Forest, but I don't know if it'd make a difference if she went to New York because he can follow her there as well. It seemed to me more like she was really, really desperate and she wasn't actually making very smart choices. Because at least here she has people who can protect her. What will she do? Go in the Enchanted Forest when nobody's around?
Protect her how? He's the
Well,
dark
who
one with the
protected
power.
her?
He's the dark one with the power of every dark one.
Right, but at least
Protect
she
her.
has friends here. That's what I'm saying. And Hook protected her from what's his face there. There'll be other people in the Enchanted Forest who may want to take revenge on Rumple through her.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's coming from the place of
You
an
have a point.
extremely desperate woman.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Apparently,
Go ahead, Ro.
apparently the only one who can hurt Rumple is Zelina.
That was brilliant.
Aha!
Brilliant. Oh my god. That's why I am all for this. I never thought that I would be for this type of bro TP, but I am all for it. I like the fact that Zelina's finally managed to make a friend outside of
Hello.
favors. She needed
You
to
cut
have
out. You cut out, Lisa. You cut out really bad.
Yeah. What happened?
After outside, we didn't hear.
I was glad that she was able to make a friend side of the family because Regina has not been doing her any favors, honestly. And it really surprised me how well they worked together. Not just because Belle was desperate, but it feels like it seems like it's a friendship that shouldn't be a friendship, but it works.
Well, you know why it works? Because Zelina is Belle. Zelina was once a pregnant chick who was like freaked out by an evil person wanting to come after her. Like she's a young mother herself, and I think that's the basis on which they're building this friendship for what it's worth.
Mm.
I
Which
think
is
it's
fine.
good for even Zelina to have someone to have scenes with other than just the evil queen because this arc she hasn't had much to do.
Well, and I bet the other thing with Zelina is she's also for them to become friends because Zelina's pissed because the evil queen is making the moves on Rumple.
Mm.
Oh. We have a
It's
question
not
about
that she's making. It's not that she's making moves on Rumple. It's that the world.
Oh yeah,
and instead of it being Regina and Zelina against the world, Zelina's been abandoned. Regina's off doing her own thing with.
Well, no, it's not just that because Zelina's admitted herself that she wanted to bang Rumple back in the Enchanted Forest, and now the evil queen's banging Rumple.
Everybody.
So yeah, she's jealous as well as feeling abandoned. She's a woman scorned and feeling abandoned. That's both.
God only knows why.
I don't know why everybody wants to bet.
I think it's a power thing. If he didn't have the dark ones, no one would care. The only person who'd want to bang him is Belle, which she thought she was doing when Morpheus was conceived.
Okay.
Can I read the Golden Queen question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anonymous says, "What the fuck is up with Gross Queen and their gross vomit-worthy scenes? Thank goodness for this 2-week break. Share your reaction when Gross Queen dry hump one another."
I feel like I don't want to talk about it because I'm still too traumatized. So yeah, don't make me talk about it for my recovery.
I want to see that shit again, please. I hate it. Disgusting, horrible, traumatic. I hate it.
Yeah, I just feel the need to throw up whenever they're in the same room.
When it was
I
just
really
What I don't
when
get
it,
is why
Wait,
they
Wait,
feel
wait,
that.
Lisa, let
wait.
Rams go.
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. When it was just the evil queen making the moves on Rumple, it was still gross, but I was kind of like, well, okay, I kind of see where they might be going with this. But Rumple making the move on the evil queen's just extra gross to me, especially because on the one side he's making out with her, and the other side he's trapping Belle from ever leaving and treating her like property. Like that's next level of gross. So, ugh, I just can't.
Yeah, I want an harem.
Well, what I what I don't what I don't get is why they feel the need to push this in our faces in every episode so far.
Why?
It's like
Yeah,
they
like why
got
does
a
it
thing.
even
We get it.
exist? Like, I don't even
We
understand
don't
why
need
it's
to
a
see
thing
it
that
more than once.
exists. Especially,
Yeah.
Lana has said repeatedly that she and Bobby have always played it like a father-daughter kind of situation, and now suddenly you're telling us no, they secretly wanted to bang, and I'm just like, excuse me.
It's just that I don't understand why they have to have these scenes in every single episode that they've done. It's like, look, you could have it one time and we get it. We get it. We understand where you're trying to take it. You have 6 scenes, one scene in every episode of them going at it. And we don't even get one scene of the actual thrice declared, God approved, true love couple. What the
Yeah,
hell?
that's fucked up. That we've
It's
had confirmation of sexy times before Captain Swan 60 times. I mean, we all know that. I mean, it's pretty much obvious at this point that they have. But what the fuck, Joe?
I hate Emily for making the Queen happen. I hate him so much.
You know what? It's this double standard that they only show the evil couples having sex. Like even with Jack and David's brother,
James.
James. Yeah,
James.
they show them in bed like at the first time they appeared in their episode, because they were evil, and the evil queen is always going around trying to seduce people with her boobs out because she's evil. And it's like, why do you have such screwed up portrayals of sexuality?
I mean,
Let us see.
Yeah, literally the only villain I can think of that did not have some sort of sexual component, like overly done sexual component, was Dark Swan, and she wasn't even truly evil.
Yeah.
And I
What
know
about
Jennifer did that on purpose with the costume having, like, her body completely covered and whatnot. I mean, it was still like skin tight, but it was like she was covered.
Yeah.
Yep. No evil cleavage.
Exactly. Like every other villain's had evil cleavage or they've gotten sexy times in some form or fashion. Yes, the true love couples get, like, maybe if you're lucky, a post-coital kind of scene like Snowing got, or in a crypt like Outlaw Queen got. And yet, Captain Swan, your draw, your most important couple, can't even get that. Like, what the fuck?
The rate
It's
they're
just-
going, we might get one at the end of the season.
That's what I've been saying all along, that they're saving it for the finale, that it's going to be their big payoff for surviving all of this nonsense.
Hopefully, because this is just getting tiresome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we have another.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we got more questions. This is from Anonymous. This is more of an anti-evil queen question. I didn't watch this episode and have absolutely no intention to, but it has become obvious that no one this season is important as the evil queen / Regina. She has been given a massive killing, and the CS relationship has been sidelined, and they couldn't even continue the plot with Snowing's curse. Are all the writers smoking it up in the writers' room because this season is 4B all over again?
Mm.
I mean, going back to the it doesn't make me mad stuff. The thing that really made me mad about 4B was the author stuff that that the whole season she was doing. Regina was doing this, so I have to find the author journey, and then that ended with her realizing that she had to write her own happy ending or whatever, blah blah blah. And we had been saying that since the beginning of the season. At least here, someone told her you did a dumb thing in this episode, and we didn't have to wait until the end of the season. Someone just told her you're dumb. This is your fault.
Hmm.
I mean that they resolve this a little quicker, so that's better than 4B. But it is the same thing, the same kind of storyline in which Regina has a dilemma or Regina does something, and the solution is completely obvious to the audience, whether it's yeah, the author can't help you, or you should get back your two parts, they should get back together. So it is a similar kind of storyline with similar problems.
Wow.
Yes, it's very repetitive,
Mhm.
basically.
Too early for me.
For me, what's weird is they're not even using it to really explore whatever Regina is going through. Not that I'm asking for more, but since that is the storyline for the season, they're treating the evil queen as though she's somebody else, as though she's some new villain, instead
Mm-hmm.
of part of Regina. Like 1 week ago, how long has it been? I can't remember. It's probably just been a week or so, right?
Yeah. If we think if
And
although the montage at the beginning of the now just confuses the issue even more because that looked like they were waking up and going to sleep like 6 or 7 times. So I'm like, has a week passed? Has Henry had a birthday? Did a year pass while this is going on? What's happening?
yes, but
I
anyway,
don't
of
know.
course, it's been a few weeks. So, did Regina have all these thoughts and feelings right up to that point? Like, why is she still after Snow? Why is she doing all these things? It doesn't make any sense. And the Regina part of her gets more boring, to be honest. I mean, she sounds kind of
Mm-hmm.
bland now.
Yeah,
So,
yes,
they're
I
just
agree.
very unfocused.
Yeah, she's not the only one though that has a repetitive storyline. You have the same thing like um, Hook finds somebody that he has a past with and causes him to question whether or not he's actually a hero. Emma has some issues with pick one magic family boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Same. Belle has issues with Rumple and his issues again. So it's like the same repetitive stuff for each couple. Nothing seems to develop. Nothing seems to change, and it's like they learn something, season ends, new season starts, reset.
Yeah, got to relearn the thing that we learned last year.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm really most frustrated about the Savior storyline because I was really kind of excited to learn more about the origins of the Savior and that They haven't really delved into it at all. There's just very surface stuff. She hasn't actually sat down with Aladdin and had a conversation. Oh, I am still frustrated with this.
Well,
He's sitting
what's
there
Aladdin going to tell her? He doesn't know how he got magic. He doesn't know how he became a savior. Emma at least has an explanation because her parents, made her of true love. That's about as good of an explanation as I ever truly needed for why Emma's a savior. I don't need all this other bullshit.
But she hasn't even gone into the library and done any research or anything, really. And I know that she's had a lot of her time caught up with dealing with Regina's crap and, other untold story people. But
that storyline got dropped like a hot potato too.
Right, but if they were gonna, if they really wanted the savior background to be an important facet of this year, they should at least devote the right amount of time to it. But once again, they've got bogged down with Regina this and Regina that, and who gives a fuck about Regina anymore? Literally no one.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. We had a whole episode that was dedicated to the origin of the Dark One. Whole episode. Where all that we saw in the flashbacks was how the Dark One came to be. So if we're supposed to think that the savior business is a similar thing, that if there's an origin to the Dark One, there should be an origin to the savior. But the thing is, there is only one Dark One at a time, most of the time.
Yeah.
The savior thing, there's the concept of there's multiple saviors, doing saving stuff. And it's is this like the Slayer on Buffy? What's happening? You gotta give me something, otherwise the story is boring.
Totally.
I'm waiting for something to happen forcing Aladdin to use his powers, because I have having serious trouble believing that Aladdin did what he said that he did with those shears. Emma would not have been able to sense him with that spell. Period. If he cut himself away from his magic to make him de facto not a savior anymore, have that connection, and the spell that Regina did to help her track him would not have worked. But
maybe he still has magic.
That's what I'm saying. He could say all he wants till he's blue in the face that he cut his magic away with these shears. There's nothing to prove that he actually did.
No. What I'm saying is he cut his savior fate, but not his magic.
Yes, that's what But still, he's implying that. The way they're playing it is that he doesn't have magic anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he had magic, then he wouldn't have needed a flashlight to go bumping around the pawn shop. He could have just he should have been able to do it with magic. Instead, no, or he wouldn't have needed to break into a car, by hand. He could have done it with magic, but no. So they're definitely playing it like he doesn't have magic anymore. I just think it's a plot hole, to be honest with you. I don't think they're smart enough to suss that out.
But Emma still picks locks and kicks down doors, even though she has magic.
Well, okay. Then when he said, when he's told Jasmine, and she was all like, we got to get to, Agrabah to go save it. He's like, basically he's saying, I don't have magic. I'm not the savior. I can't help you. So they're definitely playing that like he ain't got anymore.
They got a lamp.
Speaking of the lamp, kudos to the Robin Williams shout out for Robin Williams' genius.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
so cute.
I was like, oh, I miss him so much. It just got me all teary-eyed, all verklempt and worked up.
Ain't never had a friend like him.
Yep.
Okay, we've got one last question about the episode, and then the rest are spoilers/speculation. This one's about Snow and Regina. Anonymous says, question for the next podcast. So many things irked the hell out of me in this episode, but the one thing that made my skin crawl is when Snow told Regina to who's pretending to be Regina 1 that she was proud of her. When was the last time Snow told her own daughter she was proud of her?
I don't even remember.
I don't know if she's ever done it.
Neverland.
When?
Oh.
Oh, good, bro.
It was the Echo Cave.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. You're right. But yeah, I mean, saying it to, the evil queen when, especially considering Killian's standing right there, not really buying your mysterious message on the phone. And the fact that Snow supposedly knows this woman so well, yet can't tell that's the evil queen and not Regina. Okay.
Yeah. Weird.
I mean, you have to wonder at the awkwardness, though. I mean, she basically called Regina a monster there,
Mm-hmm.
So even though she split that part, it doesn't absolve her of anything. So it was kind of odd for her to openly say that. I mean, even if she thought it in her mind, it just seems odd for that she would say something like that.
Maybe Sam Witwer should have told them, guys, this didn't end well for me on Smallville.
What's odd was that they immediately, well, not necessarily tell by the look on his face that the excuse she gave, it was like dubious at best. When she told him that as soon as they defeated the evil queen, that Emma hopped in the car and drove to New York to track down the dragon, the look on his face, he was kind of like, seriously? And even after she magicked the phone to leave that voicemail, see, that didn't fly with him. I think he was trying to be accepting of it, probably for Henry's sake, but that something in it just didn't seem right to him.
Well, yeah, because within like an hour he was down at the beach and trying
12
to call
messages
her
later, 12
12
voicemails later.
and he finds her phone and he's like, oh crap, something went horribly wrong. And then the evil queen knocked him out.
I don't know how he knew that they were at the vault, but kudos to him for making that hook sexy again.
Yeah.
Although apparently our hug got cut.
Oh yeah, everybody was pissed at that. But you know what? It's not as though it's never happened before. It's not the first time.
I take script teases with a grain of salt.
My thing with that is that Adam and Eddie are in the editor's room. Like, they see a final cut of the episode before it goes to the network. So he should already know that scene's not in it. So why is he teasing it?
Although he also says a line about "you always underestimated me." In another script piece, that wasn't there either.
I was waiting for that in that scene with the evil queen, and it wasn't there.
Wasn't it though when they were on the beach?
No.
It was.
No, he didn't say that
when they were on the
sentence.
Well, I know sometimes they cut things out for time, or if it doesn't match the mood of the scene. Although I think the hug should have been left, and I'm not saying this as from the perspective of a Captain Swan. I'm saying it of how it emotionally impacted the scene, because this woman was just trapped in a mirror. His true love was trapped in a fucking mirror, and he was frantic. You don't think that when she gets out and he finally finds her that he's not going to want to hug her? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Just from a perspective of being realistic, honestly, and knowing Killian as we do and how he would react. I mean, the man blew up her phone with 12 messages in the span of an hour.
Well, remember, these are the same people who thought it would be perfectly fine to have a couple whose whole arc last season was to lose the darkness so they could live in their house together, wait 4 episodes before asking Killian to move in. Like, none of this makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking them to be, which they have shown time and again they're not capable of doing because they'd rather serve their plot.
Unless it's snowing or something.
Even so, can't tell that Charming didn't burn up the thing. Okay.
Well, he's kind of asleep.
Okay, do we have spoilery questions now?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so spoiler alert for everyone who's not spoiled. Let's see.
Okay,
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't want to be spoiled, leave now.
Yeah, leave now. The first one is from Anonymous. It says, Michelle, I loved your theory speculation on Regina being the one to break Snowing's curse by sacrificing herself, but after this episode, I'm thinking it won't happen. Episode 8 didn't move towards anything, and there was no hints that Regina has come to terms that she is fucked up. I just don't need 22 episodes of this shit and having her wait until the last minute to figure out her own mess. So how long do we think this evil queen thing's going to last?
I feel like the mid-season finale would be a good end point. Not much more, I think. I hope, at least.
But if they do that, they haven't really established any other story that they could go with. Jekyll or dead. Rumpel,
well, they haven't yet. If what we think happens in the mid-season finale is what happens, then that's a whole new can of worms.
I mean, Rumpel, you can't use him again because he's like the overarching, always bad guy, you know. And if Regina takes herself back in and gets rid of the evil queen, then there's really not much else left. Unless they're doing this whole what if the curse never happened type thing.
Well, I don't think it's going to get resolved in the mid-season finale, and here's why. Because as far as we know, the episode 12 I've seen, it's been a lot of Charming, there has been no snow. So I'm presuming that they're still under the curse, even up until 12. Which would be very, very depressing. Yes. Someone tell me I'm wrong.
I've heard some people say they think it'll be till ish, somewhere around there.
What if someone uses the shears to cut it off and then Rumpel kills her or something?
I have no idea.
But I think see, unfortunately, the evil queen is what makes Regina interesting, even though I don't like Regina. I mean, Regina's boring.
Right.
So if they're going to give Regina back her sass and all other stuff, they got to reintegrate the evil queen with Regina. Otherwise, she's going to be boring as hell for the rest of the series.
Right.
Yep.
If by sass you mean obnoxious behavior.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, come on. It's funny for some people.
But sometimes her sass really is sass. Most of the time it's not, though. It's just obnoxious. Like if she's sassing Zelina or something, that's funny. Because I don't like Zelina.
Yep.
Anyway. So yeah, I'm as much as it pains me to say it, I'm leaning towards the evil queen going into although the evil queen in the episode 12 filming either.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of think that Lana that Lana can't physically sustain playing two characters for the entire season.
I mean, it must be really tiring for her to have.
I mean, in every single one of those scenes where it's both of them, you can tell where one of them, where the green screen is, and where one of them's been spliced in.
Yeah, it's not Orphan Black.
No,
Aw.
it's not even Fringe. Fringe had good CGI.
Yeah.
And let's
What about
be real. Lana is not Anna Torv.
no?
Nor is she Tati.
I mean, we haven't seen the Evil Queen costume being in recent spoilers, though.
Yeah. And but my thing is we haven't seen Snows either. So either there's another way to reintegrate the Evil Queen into Regina without her having to die.
Probably
Or-
Robin having to do with it.
Or it's possible this wishing thing is what ultimately gets rid of the Evil Queen, that, she wishes, Robin, or a world where she can cast a curse or whatever, and that just puts everything back.
And when it's resolved, then the Evil Queen might come back, you think?
No, please, I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
Maybe, I mean, it might.
It's possible.
Oh, it might be contingent on Robin, though, because Robin's still in 12. If Robin's only sticking around for like 3 or 4 episodes, when they have to like send Robin back to wherever he's from or whatever, that might bring the Evil Queen back.
Yeah,
You're right.
that could explain why she's missing. And then they'll bring her back to the last few episodes and then resolve that plot line.
Yeah. Because it would then give
Anything
Lana a
happening once
break
in a time.
for a while.
Anything happening.
All I gotta say is this: if we get another Captain Swan first meeting in the Enchanted Forest where the curse was never cast, which is literally the most improbable of all of their meetings, who continues to say that they are not a destined true love couple, walk away, like right now, walk away.
It's not that to spend 30 extra years in Neverland. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, anything could have happened to make him get stuck there for an extra few decades.
Exactly. I mean, it would be the dream come true of every Captain Duckling fic writer ever.
Yeah. Or he could have gone to the land of untold stories for some reason.
Or Killian could have gone to the land of untold stories. There are now 2 land people. He could have been either one of them. But yeah, I mean, know that they do because there was the spoilers of them filming together with Owen.
Owen? What?
August.
Yeah,
August.
Owen
Okay, for a
Bailey
second I was
August.
Yeah.
No. Owen Bailey who plays August.
Oh, I didn't know that's how you pronounce
You
his
mean-
name. I thought it was
You mean
Ian.
Ian Bailey?
Okay, got it.
It's an
So,
Irish name. It's very hard to say.
Are we thinking these like flash sideways, like what they did with Lost if the plane never crashed or something? Or is it an alternate universe?
I don't know.
Alternate universe.
Yeah, we're thinking that Regina. No, we're thinking.
Can't hear you.
That Aladdin stole in it, and that. Sorry, that now.
Now, yes, we lost a big part of your last sentence.
Oh, sorry. The lamp that Aladdin found, we're thinking it, and Regina or the Evil Queen makes a wish where she never casts curse.
We are still not able to hear you.
But I think we get what you're saying, though. That you're saying that someone uses the lamp, either Regina or Evil Queen uses the lamp to wish that Robin was there.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It seems like okay, so she wishes Robin was there. I feel like the Evil Queen really doesn't care about Robin, so maybe Regina does.
Mhm.
But how do we explain then that picture of Emma sleeping in an enchanted forest type bed
I
that
don't know.
Jennifer posted a few weeks ago? It seems like for at least a while. And then where there are also people saying they saw Emma and others and they were wearing some costumes that they couldn't talk about. I feel like I heard something like that, that there were some spoilery costumes involved in some filming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
was
did.
one of
Yeah.
those was Ian because some fans are on set when Ian was filming and he came out to take pictures with them. He had a long jacket on and he couldn't take it off because whatever he was wearing, he couldn't let them see it.
Yeah.
So whatever his costume is, it's a spoiler.
Okay,
Well, that's why people are
I think
thinking. That's why people are thinking that Regina went to meet Robin in this alternate universe, and so the curse never happened, and Emma grew up there. But the problem with that theory is we have other filming pictures with Emma and everybody in regular modern clothes.
so. Maybe it's something like Regina wishes she had gone to meet Robin, and everyone is transported to this alternative universe for a while, but then it's only like one episode or something very quick where
Mm-hmm.
they get back, but then they bring Robin back with them.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I think nobody loses their memories, I guess. They all retain both memories or something. It's possible.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
Let's
think.
hope
I don't
so.
know.
I
I don't
feel
think.
like this. Sorry, gone.
I don't think Regina actually wishes. I think it's just Jafar messing with everybody.
That's what I thought the
Also
Oracle
possible.
girl, and now it was because she's dead.
Didn't somebody I read somewhere where they said that Jasmine attempts to make a wish on it, but then finds out there's nothing in the lamp. There's nobody in the lamp, that it's empty.
It was in the summary for the episode or press release. It says that the genie lamp that she found, even though she didn't find it, it says it is empty. So my theory that Jafar's inside the lamp, I'm not really sure about that anymore.
Well, you don't have to be in the lamp. I mean, Cyrus wasn't in his lamp most of the time.
Bottle.
Yes.
Lamp, bottle, it's all the same.
Same difference.
I just don't want it to wind up being some kind of sliding doors like type episode where you have one half, like one side of the screen is what would have happened if the curse was never cast, and then the other half of the screen is what's actually going on. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that film, but it's like the screen is broken up into two sides. One side is what happens if the woman goes on the subway train and meets the guy, and the other half is if she doesn't. And the whole film kind of goes on like that, split into two different like worlds.
No,
It is confusing.
I'm thinking it's going to be closer to that Buffy episode where she thinks she's crazy.
Or she thinks she what?
She's crazy. Where she's in the asylum and she thinks she's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That trope is so overused.
Totally.
They did it on Charm. They did it on Smallville. I mean, I can't think of any other show that they haven't done it on.
They did it pretty well.
Since when have Em and Eddie written?
Exactly.
Okay, do we have another spoiler question?
Just wondering, with the last episode being such a spoiler, was actually, and with the spoilers we know of, is there anything you guys, especially since it looks more and more likely that they're going back to the EF Probably all this for the Robin storyline. Sadly, I'm only interested in getting to the Captain Charming episode.
I didn't hear very well. So the question was about.
Are we excited? Is there anything we're excited for besides Captain Charming?
Okay, well, I'm excited about the alternative universe. At least Princess Emma would be fun, and any dresses should be beautiful that she wears should be beautiful. So I'm excited to see how they do that.
I think it'd be pretty awesome. I've always wanted to see what it would have been like if there was never any curse and Emma could have grown up the way she was supposed to. If it would occur, if she, would be a drastically different person than who she is now.
Yeah, maybe they will get Jennifer to play Emma's a spoiled princess, like a spoiled ditzy princess. That would be funny at least.
Oh no.
And then she meets her. Then she meets her and falls head over heels for him.
Yeah, I mean it would be still. They would have to change when Killian comes back from Neverland to have them have the same age more or less. But that shouldn't be difficult to say. Oh, he just stayed 30 years more in Neverland.
No, I want to meet again.
It's an interesting concept. I just don't want it to be all about Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it probably will be, but at least a couple Captain Swan scenes we should get them. I mean,
With him in the front and the epicness it is.
Our connections are really bad today.
yeah.
I hate it so much.
Well,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to Emma fighting Rumple's punk kid.
Do we have? Sorry, go on.
Are we for certain that Gideon is the one that's under the hood?
Pretty
That's still
much.
speculation.
Well, he's
Yeah.
the only one in that scene who was unaccounted for. Everyone else was in their regular clothes except him.
Do we have
Just
questions about Punka's kid, or can I
No.
say?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Do we all think that Belle decides next episode to have him grow up quickly? Is that
Yes.
what that's all about?
I think
Yes.
Rumple's doing it to her artificially.
Rumple speeds up the pregnancy.
Yeah.
But what I meant was because in the press release it says that Belle has to make a difficult decision or something like that. So
Right.
I feel like Rumple speeds up the pregnancy. She gives birth, and then she decides to protect the child, to have him grow up. So she gives up his childhood, basically.
I agree.
In
I'm
order,
with you, Serena.
in order to have him be grown up and like able to fight back and not be so vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then Rumple can't poison his mind.
Yeah. Probably.
What does she use? Fairy magic?
Well,
that's what the
Black
Black Fairies-
Fairies in this episode.
And I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. Rumple in season 2 said he was able to make Bagel young again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's likely that the opposite is possible. I mean, they are able to make, and even Emma Dark Swan was able to make a fetus grow up quickly in the womb. So I'm guessing it's possible even outside the womb.
But that poor kid is so going to be messed up.
Well, it's probably remember it's probably the same magic that made August when he was
Totally.
dying back into little Pinocchio.
Exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's magic that has already been used anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's something they are not making up now. It's kind of believable actually, for once.
But why is he dressed like a dark one?
He becomes a dark one, I'm telling you.
Me too. I think so.
I think
Okay.
what Rumpel does is separate. First thought he was time traveling, but I think what happens is he tries to separate his darkness from himself, like the Excalibur thing. But instead, the darkness goes and attaches to the closest genetic match, which is Morpheus, and he becomes the Dark One.
So,
But the darkness doesn't work like that. The darkness will go after anybody and anything. And it doesn't just.
Well, unless Morpheus is there when it happens.
Plus, it's this show. They could totally change the rules.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and when you think about it, a newborn child is just a blank slate for the darkness. I mean, it could be controlling him the whole
Yeah.
time. And what does the darkness want to do? Snuff out the light. And who is the light? Emma.
Here for the result of your theory.
But to be honest,
Why do
what I'm absolutely dreading is that the idea of their kid going dark is somehow going to unite Rumbell. Not necessarily reconcile them, but they might become united in trying to save their son.
Oh God.
I'm afraid of that too, because they seem to be together in some of the BTS shots of the later episodes, you know.
And what would have been the point of her doing all these things to assert her independence and finally, for once telling him to fuck off, only for it to be thrown away?
No.
Theme said in this weekend on TV line, he said it's always darkest before the dawn, and that Rumbeller should have hope, and this is probably what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hope in this. He's treating her like a literal prisoner and using her for her womb, for God's sake. I don't care what happens. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the baby becomes evil or good. That's not an excuse for her to get back with him.
It's disgusting.
What is she? Is she Patty fucking Hearst?
I'm sorry. That's not
Who's
funny.
that? I mean, I feel like it sends such a dangerous message about domestic violence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know who Patty Hearst is? You remember how we used to talk about Belle having Stockholm?
Uh-huh.
That's Patty Hearst.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I'll look it up on Google.
Yeah, she got kidnapped by a cult.
Oh, wow.
By the time they saw her again, she was helping the cult people.
Oh, poor thing.
Rob banks, because she identified with her captors.
Yeah, Belle, at this point, if she gets back, it'll be like, it's just hopeless, man.
Yeah, I know. And she was beauty in this movie that coming out next March makes everyone think that's Rumpel should be, but it's not.
How screwed up is that they show the promo for this upcoming episode of Once, where it's the darkest we've ever seen, and really in fear of her life, up against a new promo for the Beauty and the Beast film. It's all light and fluffy and Disney, pretty, picture perfect, except for the really creepy animated furniture.
Okay, so do we have another question?
We have one final question.
Okay.
Anonymous says, This is the show. How would you write Mama Jones? Who do you think she is? Is she alive somehow? Do you think the writers will fuck this up like they did Papa Jones?
I have no opinion on this. I haven't imagined her a lot, so I don't know. I feel like they will fuck it up. I mean, Papa John's wasn't that impressive, and half of Killian brothers were super dumb. The other was kind of okay. So yeah, the family isn't great right now, but maybe Mama Jones would improve the Jones family. I don't know. What do you guys
Well,
think?
Killian had to get his charm from somewhere.
I think the Black Fairy girl is his mother because the actress Jamie, I saw her now with her black hair, and I think this and mother. I don't know.
She's
So
the Black Fairy. I don't think Killian's mother is the Black Fairy.
I think it will be cool if his mother is some kind of mythical creature. I mean, it might explain why he never dies or he has such a longevity. But yeah, I don't know. The writers will probably ruin that too.
I don't.
I kind of prefer if his mother was just a regular person who was just an exceptionally warm and caring, loving person, and probably died young, and was unlucky enough to marry a really horrible husband, like a really horrible man. She probably loved her sons very much and died young, and they got stuck with a really horrible father. They have to be like the son of some mythical creature to make him special. He's special just how he is. You know, royalty. I don't need him to have magical powers. I'm perfectly fine with the way
Son.
that he is, exactly how he is.
Mm-hmm.
So the question
Same.
was, if we were doing it, how would we
Yes.
make her?
Yes.
I'd make her a gender bent Sinbad.
Nice.
Oh no. I somebody working charm, somebody a maiden thing that with brown black hair, blue eyes person, and who found the guy she thought was a good guy, and at the end of the time, and she young and she left them son, her older son, with a man who's then sold them to a ship, left to be slaves there. What the hell?
Well,
Didn't understand a single word, man.
Yeah, I can't
let's-
understand either.
yeah, let's hope
Yes.
that she's not in the land of apparently Papa Charming is.
Yeah, is there proof for that? Someone was saying that Josh Dallas was playing his own dad. Is there any evidence for that?
I don't know about him playing his own dad, but I do remember somebody who was at the set swore up and down filming at the docks was Charming confronting his father.
Interesting.
I.e., that Papa Charming is not dead, that he wound up in the land of untold stories.
They said that his name was. They said that they don't know who the actor is because they couldn't see the actual scene, but they said that the father was being referred to as David, quote unquote, David. Even I think that's just a cover, you know, because they don't want to let anybody know who his father is or what his name is. No, I do not believe that way did any harm to his father. I think we'll be able to bond over the fact that they're past with they both have daddy issues. Let's just put it like that. Okay.
Well, no, go ahead. I stick with my theory that it was King George and he got stabbed and he went to the land of untold stories to get away.
It's possible. I just think that Killian will help him because he will understand what it's like to not have those answers. He went through his whole life trying to understand why his father would just leave them the way that he did and never really having closure. So he gets it, you know? And it also doesn't hurt that, you know, it's always good to do something nice for the potential father-in-law. You want to ingratiate yourself pretty well into that relationship, you know, just in case you're harboring notions of possibly, you know, popping the question at some future date.
Oh,
Want to have a good notch on the belt. So
I'm not getting my hopes up about that. I refuse.
Yeah, I'm not going in with the assumption that there's going to be any popping of questions. No matter what Adam and Eddie might have said during that hot seat, I know how they are when they run out of time.
I'm convinced that's referring to the curse and
Right,
the absence
right.
of a curse, not any
Right.
kind of proposal nonsense. I just don't
Yeah,
think
I'm over that. I'm not getting trapped by that again.
I mean, we can't even get them living together in the house properly.
Right.
I mean, they are, but like we can't even get scenes of domestic bliss without some shit way.
Mm-hmm.
So weird why they are so allergic to showing us some domestic scenes.
Well, not only that,
They don't get it.
I don't know.
They
but
don't
not only
seem to
that-
get it.
Yeah, and then in this episode that's coming up, they're going to have what looks like an important conversation at not in their house, not on their kitchen table, not on their couch, not in their bed, at Granny's diner. What the ever loving fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't that around where they're at the library with Belle trying to help her?
It may be after the thing with Belle happens at the end of the episode. I swear to Jesus.
Why are you having that conversation at Granny's, not your house?
If this conversation turns out to be what we think it's going to be about, and they decide to have it in the middle of fucking Granny's, where anybody and his mother could interrupt instead of, you know, in private at the house where they should have it. Oh my God.
It makes me
Set
wonder
up,
why
people.
they even bothered to build
Set
that
up.
set if they're not going to use it.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so was that the last question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you guys have any last comments? No?
Some episodes. Well, okay. Some episodes you hate, some episodes you love, and some episodes you just accept. I accept this one for what it is. So now time to move on.
Okay, yeah, I actually agree with that.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next episode. Even though we have a 1 week break, I think there should be some good CS scenes there. I hope. From the spoiler pictures and all that.
Yeah, the spoiler pictures made me marginally more excited for the next episode than I was before.
I'm so happy Belle has finally come to the right people for help, like she should have been doing in the underworld.
Definitely.
God.
Okay. And just a PSA. Yes, it's that time of year. Again, People's Choice Awards are up for voting. If you would like to, Jennifer and Ginny are both up for Best Sci-Fi TV Actress. Once Upon a Time is up for Best Sci-Fi TV Series. We know that not everybody likes polls, but if you want to see them win, please go on to the People's Choice Awards website, cast your vote, or tweet your vote using Twitter. Hopefully they'll win. We shall see.
Well, if they don't show up, they didn't win.
Yeah. Okay, so go vote online for all that, both the show and Jennifer. So I think that's it for today. If no one else has any last comments, then we can end this podcast. And we won't be back next week because there is no episode this week. There is some music award show. So we will be back the week after that. And thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
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 Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.